Winning in Retirement is brought to you by Brian Akers and Akers Financial Group. This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers. Brian is a certified financial planner, professional, and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hey, good morning. This is Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group. We're broadcasting live from the Hilton Gardens in Owings Mills. You can come join us, or you can join us on the phone line by giving us a call at 410-922-6680 if you have a question. 410-WCBM 680. All right, Brian Akers, I'm president and founder of Akers Financial Group. Our show is Winning in Retirement. Today I have Alex Monk from Akers Financial Group here with me. Alex Monk is a certified financial planner, practitioner.
Oh, yeah?
Been working together 11 years, right?
I think more than that, actually.
Yeah, you are getting old now.
It's scary.
Yeah, so it's Saturday morning, a little bit of rain, doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, the gardens are a little wet, but who cares at the Hilton?
But we're trying to cover a topic today that I think everybody's going to care about.
What you got?
It's called Get Paid in Retirement.
All right, yes, sign me up.
Well, so the idea is this. The biggest fear people have is, where's the money going to come from when I retire? What's going to be there when it's time to stop working?
It's so funny you say that. I met with a lady 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
And she's got millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And she's terrified to retire because she doesn't know where her paycheck's going to come from.
Correct, because she has trusted her work ethic the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is a great trait, to trust your work, you earn, you save, and I would guarantee that lady is a great saver.
Yeah, I also told her that she'll probably still try to save in retirement.
Right. So what you're talking about here is a person that is fearful of the retiring and trusting the money rather than their work.
Oh, yeah, it's a 180.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's the opposite out there, people who just can't wait to get to a certain age, and they don't really care about how they're going to get paid until they're retired, and then they go, how am I getting paid?
Well, and then that person probably has not been saving. So
right,
it's usually like, how'd you think this was going to work?
Yeah, so the idea here is this. You want to win in retirement. The earlier you start, the better. If we want to win in retirement, it's just like any type of game. If you plan on not practicing and you go to the game, probably not going to do well.
Yeah, that it doesn't work well.
There should be practice. There should be the preparation. There should be the fundamentals. All those things apply to your finances. So the idea here is get paid in retirement. We're going to talk about income planning. How do you get your money to use your money, and how can you rely on it to make that money be just like you feel your paycheck? You know you can count on it. You know it's coming certain days, and you don't worry about it as much.
Right, and then everything changes, right? You retire, and it's not just like you don't have a job. Your health insurance probably changes. Mm-hmm. What you're doing every day changes. Like, everything is going to change.
Yeah, well, some people are built for retirement.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
when they walk in the door, they look like they're retired already because their mindset and they live for being retired. Some people are built for work. You say, well, describe yourself, and they'll say, I'm a firefighter, I'm a police officer, I'm a professor, I'm an executive of this company. That's who they are.
Yep.
So the idea of giving up their job to retire is a terrible thought at times.
Oh, yeah, and most likely they're not thinking about money the whole time. So
right, it's not really a money decision. It's more about, what do I want to do with the rest of my life?
And then, do I have the money, and how do I use it? It's their next question.
Yeah, I use an example of my family. I got my father, and then today is my sister's retirement party.
Wow.
Did I tell you that? She's younger than me, and she's retiring. I'm, after the show, going to her retirement party, and she's going to enjoy retirement because she's worked hard, and now it's time. And that's a great thing to be. And then winning in retirement is truly knowing that you're going to be okay, and the fact that you get to slow down and do the things you want to do. That's the idea of winning in retirement, is you get to choose rather than your job choosing for you.
Yeah, and then there's really not a number, right? I mean,
no, it's not really a number, but there is a number.
There's lots of numbers.
Yeah, well, think about it. When somebody walks in and they say, okay, I want to retire in like 5 years, the first number we search for is, what do you need on a monthly basis, right? We don't have a number above our head that says, oh, you hit $1 million, you're fine, or 2.5 or 6 million. There's just basically it's about the monthly need.
Absolutely, because if you have a pension, right, like that thing has a cash value.
Right.
If you were to use it mathematically, right? So a lot of people ignore that, but people without pensions, they need big money to replace those things.
Absolutely.
So it's like, it depends on your structure. What do you have going on? Where'd you work? Like, do you have like certain hurdles to hit with your pension, with your health care? Like, there's so many different things you got to figure out. Like, am I making the best decision? And like you said, starting early.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting early is where you can do in smaller amounts, save money, and let that grow and give it time to grow. So throughout the show today, we're going to talk about things you need to do to plan for that income in your future. Now, if your future is real near, we're going to talk about exactly what you got to do about getting paid. So as we break down the quarters of the show, we're going to talk about getting paid in retirement, ways to do it, how to do it, but most importantly, the need to do it. So as we're talking about this, when we're talking about designing a plan, designing income, I love the idea of having buckets of money with purpose, so you set aside money that you're going to be able to use when you get to the retirement years.
Yeah, and you can use different like structures of investments, like ladders or things that come due. So
Sure.
You can structure things that way. It also helps reduce your risk. So it spreads maturity, and it gives you sources of cash that allow you to miss the market going down.
Right. So what Alex is saying there is this, is that we don't put all of our money in one thing. We don't stay 100% stock. You don't go 100% cash. You try to have a balance in different levels of maturities, which is invested for a length of time, or different risk level where you might have the possibility of loss if you put your money at risk. We believe you should have some money at risk in your retirement years to keep up with inflation. We're going to talk about that more later. We also believe that you need to have, from the very beginning, the first bucket, you've got to have liquid money that you can get to pay the bills and to pay the emergencies without going into debt or have to find money or sell something at the wrong time.
Well, and also, if you're not prepared to having cash for those emergencies, let's say your bulk of your net worth is all in retirement accounts.
Pre-tax. Taxable withdrawal.
And you need $40,000.
Yeah.
And then this withdrawal pushes you to, 65, 70 because you jump tax brackets, and then maybe Medicare increases. So there's so many things that can happen. And that's why we got to get those buckets lined up.
Yeah, so the buckets have names for them. The buckets have risk level, they have maturity, they have penalties or fees to get in or out. They also have taxes. Knowing how these all work is how you put together an income plan for your own retirement. The thing about planning for getting paid in retirement, it starts with the idea that you're going to retire, and then you need to get paid. So you need to know what those bills are. We really believe in having no debt as you enter retirement. We believe if you pay off your mortgage, you're going to replace that with your health insurance bill. That's what we need the money for.
Yeah, and that's for healthy people too.
Yeah, absolutely. Retiring before 65 is a healthcare decision that can be very tough. After 65 is a combination of Medicare and Medicare supplements.
And it's not like people almost think it's free.
Yeah,
and it's it could be what, $400 or $500 a month per person total
on the combination. Yeah, so we got $164.90 on the basic Medicare. Medicare is means tested, meaning that on that part of the Medicare system, you actually pay a monthly. If you have higher income, you pay more. It can end up being close to $500 a month just on one person's Medicare without counting the supplement itself. So the idea is this. You want to get paid. Now, years ago, the joke about retirees is they go to the mailbox every day looking for their dividend checks. Looking for
mailbox money?
Mailbox money. And so what used to happen, even Social Security used to come in the mail. You'd have to go out there and get it, and then you spend your retirement years cashing checks, putting them in the bank. And that would be sort of what retirees did a lot.
Well, and with the dividends, the way they used to structure people, they'd hold it right at the transfer agent or with the company, and they'd get them randomly.
Right. They had a lot of different checks coming in, and so I had this one guy, he ended up passing away at 93, but back when we first met 30-some years ago, he had a whole book on every bank he had money at, every dividend, what week it showed up, had it all laid out, knew exactly which bank to go to.
Like a treasure map.
He couldn't go on vacation in retirement because he was trying to handle the money.
Right.
Now, what happens nowadays is Social Security is a direct deposit, which is great. So how does Social Security get paid? Well, it gets paid on a Wednesday. It gets paid generally the week of your birth date and comes on a Wednesday, and it happens every month that way.
Yep, and then taxes?
taxes do not come out automatically on Social Security income. After you get your first draw, then you can ask them to take federal tax only out.
But you can't ask for advice.
No, you can't ask for advice, but then they'll tell you you can start earlier. I had one Social Security representative try to talk my client into starting 6 months earlier, which once they agreed to that and came in and told me what they did, I said, well, you now have a penalty. You're going to have to pay that, and they're going to take money away from you next year because you worked. And the person behind that phone call or that person you met didn't know all your facts. They were looking at a lump sum,
so that happens all the time. Every time you call them, it's interesting.
Yeah, so basically when you listen to our show about winning in retirement, if we try to keep it simple, getting paid in retirement, you have to do something to be able to get paid in retirement. Sometimes we have to work and earn the years to get a pension. Very few people have pensions anymore. Most people are going to have to save and create their own ability to retire by having their own money saved. If we don't have those things, where are we going to get our money from? If more than half of America lives on Social Security only, that cannot be your retirement plan. If you're truly going to do what you're doing while you're working, you need to save save anything just to make sure you're not at Social Security level only.
It's nothing. I mean, compared to what things cost today, I mean, inflation's wild. So.
Yeah, the inflation's up. Social Security did give a pay raise for 2023. The hard part for the future is we don't know if there'll be a lot more pay raises or not. Social Security is talking about and has been talking about on your statements that they're going to reduce benefits in the future. So one concern about retirement is, will Social Security be around and will they lower it by 20-some% later? How do you combat that? You have to have other money. You need to have other money. You don't want to retire where everything's tight, because if we retire for 20, 30 years, we need more money as the bills go higher and higher. So we got to make sure we set money aside to meet all the goals through all the years of your retirement.
Yeah, you don't want to go work on your resume at 85.
At 85?
That's not something that you want to do.
No. Maybe you want to go out and work. I want you to be financially independent. And what that means is you choose to work, not that you have to work. When you choose to work, things can actually be a lot better. So basically what I'm trying to explain here is winning in retirement and how to get paid in retirement. A little bit of logistics. We have a lot of different topics to cover today. But basically you need to know this. Acres Financial Group, we're local, we're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We have offices in Lutherville and Forest Hill, clients all around the Mid-Atlantic region and all around the country actually. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. You just give us a call and schedule your meeting with one of our team of advisors. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Does your balloon inflate? We will explain when we return in a moment.
You're who you always were.
She was screaming and crying. I've never seen her like that in my life.
You're who you've always been.
So we ended up calling the doctor, and he said, this isn't just an ear infection.
You always had it in you.
This is our daughter, and we didn't know how to help her.
To fight monsters and win.
Every day, thousands of kids like Gwen enter a Children's Miracle Network hospital. And for many of them, they're fighting for their lives. Children's hospitals are underfunded, which is why these hospitals rely on community support. 100% of contributions made at helpkidstoday.org go to your local member children's hospital so they can spend it on their most urgent needs.
It's life-changing for a kid like Gwen.
We can't change their diagnosis, but together, we're changing their future. For ways to help, visit us at helpkidstoday.org. helpkidstoday.org.
This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Call now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Yes, welcome back to Winning in Retirement. We are here live at Hilton Gardens in Owings Mills. Go ahead and give us a call here at the station at 410-922-6680 if you have any questions, or 410-WCBM-680. Alex Monk is here with me today. We're both certified financial planners, practitioners from Acres Financial Group, located right here in Maryland. We do work with people all around the state and all around the United States. So today's show is called Get Paid in Retirement. And it sounds simple that we all need to get paid in retirement, but this show is about how do we get paid, how does it work, and what do we got to do right now to make sure we know where the checks will come from. We might not walk to the mailbox anymore because it gets directly deposited to our checking, but when we look in our checking, will it be there? That's the key to retirement, right?
It's so much better than walking all the way down to the mailbox.
Yeah, you hit the button on your phone.
I mean,
but you got to know that the check's deposit. We do have some retirees that don't look electronically. They have to wait for the statement. But a lot of people nowadays do look online.
Most people are using, I mean, at least some type of...
Yeah, to confirm the checks are coming in. And
yeah.
Once you retire, we usually tell people once you retire, it takes about 2 years to feel comfortable with the flow and the reliability of the flow of money, when it's coming, your bills, and the different times of the year when you need extra money for real estate tax. If your house is paid off, you got to pay your insurance. There's a bunch of other events in life.
And the first couple of years usually are weird, right? So like your income for 1 year is partial work, partial retirement, you know, and so there's a split tax year, and then the next year you might have it just whatever logistics you're doing along the way. So it takes, you know, at least 3 years for your tax situation to settle out.
Yeah, usually the retirement year is going to be your highest taxable income year. And you got to do planning around that to try to keep it reduced and spread your income and level your taxes out. This quarter, we're covering this topic. I know you love this one, Monk. It's called, Does Your Balloon Inflate? Now, I know you're one of those kids that carries a balloon around. Do you still carry a balloon around?
No, I used to carry bouncy balls around.
You were a bouncy ball? Okay.
I was.
Balloons are fascinating.
They are. My son loves them, and my dog's scared of them, so it's awkward. But, you know.
Your dog's scared of everything, right?
That's also true.
All right, so does your balloon inflate? So the idea is this, does your retirement inflate? If you retire today, do you know, will it increase over time or not?
Right, so like if you're taking 4% withdrawals, just to like make math simple.
4% withdrawal from what?
From your nest egg.
Okay.
And your 4%, you know, you need more now, right? So that nest egg is your balloon. You need it to get bigger while you're taking money from it. I think you've talked about a cow before, or I just had Chick-fil-A for breakfast. I'm not sure, but that like milking a cow, you're going to need more milk as things go up. So you got to make sure that your cow grows too.
All right, you got me on the cow thing.
Cow, balloon, I didn't know where to go.
All right, so I sounds like I need to explain the cow to everyone else. All right, so imagine that your career, your job is to save money. Now, if you save money, I always call that the first paycheck's like the milk. It comes into your account, right? And what you got to do is then save that money, and then you basically grow your first cash calf, and then you grow it up. It becomes a cash cow later in life.
I can't believe you didn't say moolah.
Well, I didn't want to do a long version of this, but the idea is that we have to save our own money. Pensions and Social Security are not going to be there for most people. If you're younger than a baby boomer, the idea that you're having a pension that's going to keep up with inflation is rare. Most states and state pensions, even the federal pension, has changed their cost of living, their inflation options on your pension. What I mean by that, they do things called simple interest. That's on a Maryland pension. Now, what is simple interest, Alex?
So that means it's not compounding. You don't get interest on your interest.
All right, so someone retires a $30,000 pension. They get a 3% simple interest. That means they get a $900 raise.
And that's the max.
That's the maximum raise if it's $900. It could be lower. But if inflation was really high like it was, you'd only get $900, and it wouldn't compound on top of each other, where you get 3% on top of $31,000 and grow and grow and grow. That's called compounding, which if you take compounding versus simple interest and retire 20-some years, you'll see a massive difference in income.
Huge.
And that's one of the greatest concerns about people retiring is, are they ready? Will their retirement inflate like a balloon inflates? Will it grow and then be there? Or will it not? Will it just basically you have to keep cutting your budget?
Right. And do you know when, like, people don't know the day they're going to die?
No, we don't. I'm thankful for that.
Oh, yeah. But, like, that's what people come in there like, well, when is the best exact date to start Social Security? And I say, well, what day will you die?
Yeah.
Like that's what we would need to know, and we never will know that, right?
Correct. Now, generally, the advice on Social Security would be this. Until you fully retire or at least work less than and you make less than $21,000, don't consider Social Security because there is a penalty if you're younger than your FRA, your full retirement age, generally 67 if you're born in 1960 or more recent.
Right. And, weird circumstances, health, etc. But
we have the Social Security radio show on our website. So you can go there and at acresfinancialgroup.com and look at the Social Security one that we did last fall.
But that's the thing. It's like if you know you're going to live to 100, then things are easy. You can plan for that. Mm-hmm. But you have to plan like that's going to be the case. So if you're 60 and you're taking chunks of your net worth out to live on, that's a problematic scenario.
Absolutely. So the basics goes like this. The idea that like my parents and things had pensions and things like that to rely on, they didn't have to save as much. Without pensions, you need to save money. Generally, some companies used to save 25 to 30% of their pay to create your pensions. That's the kind of number they did for your whole career.
Well, why do you think they quit doing them?
Absolutely. They quit doing them because if the investments didn't do well, they had a call for more income, more money, more and more money got piled into there.
They were huge.
And the people were living longer, and so these plans that were a defined benefit where they said, oh, you're going to retire on 80% of your pay with unlimited cost of living. Oh, man, that's golden. And then all of a sudden they realized, oh, my.
We can't do that.
Well, I'm like some people under that kind of system are making more now than they ever did working. And there was never enough money put in to pay for that, so they're paying it out current cash flow. And that's sort of the problems with car companies. That's why they had to change their pensions. That's why they had a lot of issues a decade ago.
But now the responsibility it's on everyone, right? Like you have to do it yourself. It takes work. So starting early is the way to do it. Let the money grow. Let's invest it. Let's make it work for you.
He said, let's invest it. You must have money that's going to beat inflation after tax. That's called a real rate of return. You must have your money invested in something that takes risk to beat inflation. It cannot be in something just like a CD for all of your money. You need some money in the stock market.
So I had someone come in and like, why would I ever invest in the stock market right now? Alex, like that, I got 4% in my money market. I'm like, we need to take advantage of that. Don't get me wrong. But how much is the NASDAQ up this year? They're like, oh, it's down. I'm like, okay. So it's up 30% this year. Like, that's a real rate of return.
Right.
So just because things went down, you still have to have exposure.
Well, the idea is that you got to have something earning more than inflation. A CD, for years we've called them constantly depreciating because they basically keep up with inflation on the short run, and they do not give you a real rate of return. There are some opportunities now that inflation dipped down around 4%, and you can get a 5% CD. That works on short-term money, but you're going to go out about a year on that. So what you got to do is really plan out your money. But one of the key ingredients here is you want to inflate your retirement. Some of that money must be in stocks, and we love that money to actually be part of the Roth IRA to be in stocks because we love tax-free. So if we can keep up with inflation by having some stocks, and then we throw in a little bit of dash of tax-free, that gets you more and more money to your future.
I can't believe you said Roth with just 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I love Roth IRAs, and it keeps coming out. I love Roth IRAs. I think you got to Rothify things that you have at work, a Roth IRA on your own. You need to find out, can you do a Roth? Because you have to do that as part of a plan because nothing's better than tax-free income, honestly, when it comes to retirement.
That's my favorite part of planning is how do we cut the government out as much as possible so we have more of our money?
You keep more.
Keep more. And you have to take less risk when you keep more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to have tax-free income. Of course, that's a part of the show here. But this topic this quarter was about, does your balloon inflate? Will your retirement income inflate over time? How do you know? Well, get a second opinion by one of our team of advisors to do that. At Acres Financial Group, everything we do is about you. Your retirement is as unique as your fingerprint. When you sit down with us, we start taking a look at your financial fingerprint. We talk about you and where you are right now. What is your net worth? How do you invest? How much you're earning? Then we discuss what you want your retirement to look like and feel like. That's a retirement plan. So today we're talking about balloons and saving and how to get paid in retirement. You want a retirement plan to be designed around a fingerprint. Fingerprint is who you are. It's something that designs about. We take a look at where you are today with your money, your goals, and we say that's your fingerprint. And then we look at your goals and tie it all back in to the way it should be. So the goal at Acres Financial Group is to recommend based on your financial needs, based on your financial fingerprint. We want that to drive the recommendation, to drive how you're going to get paid in retirement so we can plan it out. Yes, we do spreadsheets. Yes, we work out the charts. We do it annually to make sure you're okay. It's a retirement plan based on your unique fingerprint that determines where your money goes. It's all about you. It's not about us. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE and schedule an in-person or Zoom meeting with one of our team of advisors. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-796-7384, or visit our website, acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll down to the bottom of our homepage and schedule a meeting right there. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE or go to acresfinancialgroup.com. Will your retirement money last a lifetime? An important question that you must answer. We will explain after this short break.
I love the Army. You just have this brotherhood that you can't find anywhere else. Since coming home from war, I've tried so many different things. I just remember thinking, like, it's over.
After being forced to medically retire, Angie battled addiction to prescription medications, eventually losing her house and marriage. Then she found Wounded Warrior Project.
And so I went online, I signed up, and I knew that Wounded Warrior Project was definitely my new community. One of the staff members, she put me in for peer mentor training. It was like for the first time someone recognized something good about me and thought that I had something to give back to someone else. Are you doing okay otherwise?
I've kind of picked up woodworking with my grandfather,
I saw the 3D stuff.
All those activities gave me a new way to live without drugs, a new way to live without feeling like I'm broken. You can live a meaningful life after traumatic experiences.
You wouldn't go into battle alone. You don't have to fight this alone. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/notalone.
This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Call now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Hey, welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Here today we're doing a live show with the Hilton Gardens in Owings Mills. Alex Monk is the co-host.
Yeah, man.
And we're here on WCBM 680. You can join our show by giving us a call at 410-922-6680 and ask a question if you like.
Or you can listen on FM, I heard.
That's 99.9 FM.
Oh, yeah.
And that gets over there in Harford County, I heard.
Harford County.
And also, the show, what's wonderful about WCBM is it goes all the way to Ocean City. So when we're heading down to see our Delaware and Ocean City clients, we get to hear the show.
I know. I'm going down there soon. I'm playing some pickleball, I think.
Pickleball is fun. I agree. It's built for people of all ages.
So there's a lot of new people playing pickleball these days, and they're getting injured. So watch out on those courts, old folks.
I'm sorry. Alex Monk likes to be distracted on the show. I try to keep him focused.
All right, let's do it.
We got a short show. We got a lot of information to get out. Pickleball does distract Alex.
Sounds fun.
All right, the show today we're doing is called Get Paid in Retirement. Now, this third quarter and this second half of our show, we're covering this. Well, will your retirement money last a lifetime? The reason is we don't know how long it's going to be. We have to invest to make sure our money lasts as long as we do. We don't want to get to a certain age and say, whoops, ran out of money, and then you call your kids and say, I'm moving in. Or you have to downsize because of necessity rather than a desire to downsize.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to do any of those things.
What you want in retirement is choice, freedom, to where you get to decide what you're going to do because you have the money to do what you need to do.
Well, you get to play pickleball. I mean, the people that I'm going to play pickleball with, we put in work, right? Yeah. We had to sell a house here, had to buy another house here, had to buy the house at the beach.
Yeah.
Get it all figured out. It takes work, and then you get there, and it's like, okay, we're good. Let's play some pickleball.
I had someone ask me the other day, what's my favorite thing in planning? And what I like is when someone says, I want to accomplish this, they give me all the facts, and then I got to figure out how to make it happen. And they're like, oh, this is impossible. And I go, well, let me figure it out.
That's the easy one.
I love that.
The impossible one is where you're like, what's 5 years from now? look like? And they're like, I have no idea.
When you ask the client, they don't know.
And they're like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Will I be, I might move, I might do this, I might do that, I might retire, I might not, I might have a kid. I'm like, what is happening?
And that's why we talk about retirement, in that it's your choice. It's about what you want it to look like, what you want it to feel like, what to be like. Getting paid in retirement is a necessity of every one of our clients. They want to know that their fixed expenses, their basic life money is coming in, when it's coming in, and where is their emergency fund, so that they're okay. They don't have to call and panic and say, well, where's my $5? Where's it at? I need it.
And the logistics are important, right? Because people have some, they like to see the money come in monthly, or they like to have it all, whatever they prefer, right?
Yeah.
But we just need to know how much you're going to need so we can be ahead of the ball, right? 18 months, typically. We're going to want to know where it is, have it identified in cash, ready to go.
Yeah, so we have clients that take they take money just like their old paychecks, where we send them twice a month.
Yeah.
And so we send them checks twice a month. We have some second marriages where it has to be an equal proportion of income withdrawal from each side that goes into a joint bucket where they share expenses. So it can get as complex as you want on the logistics of getting paid. We have some people that say, just dump it to my savings, I'll pull out when I need it. And so that we do on an annual basis. Now, what happens is, in life, as these ages change and there's different requirements of the IRS, like the required minimum distributions at 73 and then ultimately at 75 for people, there's Social Security, and at age 70 is the maximum wait time when you have to draw Social Security. These are all pieces of an income plan. How do you get paid? Well, we got to know where your income is going to come from. We need to know how to help you handle and manage what you've already done so far.
And a lot of it's important because at certain ages, like you said, there's required things, but there's also other tax things you can do, like qualified charitable distributions. So you really got to plan.
Absolutely. And so when we're talking about retirement money for a lifetime, one of the things that people don't think about is that there are ways to use fixed annuities to have them give you income for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Now, try to explain to me how it just quickly works.
So it's called an income rider, right? So I tell people this: you get your cake and you can eat it too. So you get the benefits of an annuity contract where they'll promise payments for a lifetime or a period of time, but in this case, life. But if you die early and there's money left, it still goes to your kids. So you don't give up access or principal.
Right, because you're not annuitizing. One of the things that annuities, there's some bad things about annuities. One's called an immediate annuity. You put money in, they give you a check for life like a pension. If you die too early, it's gone. Insurance company keeps it all.
Yep.
Not a fan of that. The income rider gives us the ability to have money that will pay for as long as a spouse is alive and you are alive.
Yep.
You can make it a joint combination where it pays for the whole time.
And I love it because you can structure these to build pensions for people that don't have them. So we have that core guarantee of whatever, that monthly income.
Yeah, so we're sitting there as the planner, and we hear what you're saying, and then what we first want to do when you're getting ready to retire, that retirement year, is we talk about what do you want hitting in your bank account. If we can make the tax after-tax money match what you're making while you're living, that's a win. That's a great thing to do. It's hard to do, but you need someone to plan for a long time. But generally, to turn that income on to make sure it's coming in every month to match, part of that is to have something that's going to be reliable, that can actually grow over time with a cost of living tied to the actual contract itself.
Yeah, and so these things they take different types of risks than the stock market. You give up liquidity, you give up access. So there's risk associated. That's why we got to have all this balance, right? Mm-hmm. We can't have it all in one place. But a lot of these annuity contracts, all you got to do is wait. I mean, how easy is that?
To wait to draw it. Now, generally at 73 is the current time when you have to take money out of IRAs. So an income rider and an IRA is nice in the fact that, I can take my RMD out of that, and it'll be a payment that will start and come the rest of my life. And then what we do is we take a core income from that, and then we say above that, how much extra do you need? We decide, do you want to send to charity? There's lots of decisions on the RMD, but actually getting paid is that. Now, when somebody retires and they are younger, they're not 73 yet, one of the first things we do is we look at your tax return to see what you're getting paid on, like interest and dividends, things like that. And what we do, instead of reinvesting, we have it sent to you.
Yep. If you're already paying tax, for sure, because those years before you're required are your huge tax planning years. You could be like, your tax situation may change drastically when you get much older, and people never see that coming.
This is what I had the other day. This client had a CD, and now it's making 5%, and they're letting the interest reinvest, and then they're taking money out of their IRA to live on. And I'm like, well, that 100,000 is giving you 5,000 a year. Why don't we pull that out, like milk from the cow, and not touch the IRA until we have to, and that'll lower your taxes.
Right.
It just sounds simple. So, but imagine you're retired and you have stocks, you have CDs, things that are making interest and dividends. You're paying tax on
And they're
it.
making interest no matter what. Like, so you're already paying the tax. You might as well spend it.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
Turn the dividend on to your bank account, so it's filling up the savings. And then you can do something else when it comes to retirement.
And that gives you the ability, like at the end of the year, this is my favorite thing to do, is let's see where your income's at, and then we can fill up any bucket we need, right? So that way, we're on the offensive against taxes. We're not on the defensive.
Yeah, so tax planning is actually a fun game also when it comes for planners, and the fact that there's a punishment for being successful in your money. You save and grow it, there's going to be a tax.
People, when I first meet them, they're like, will you provide a value? And then usually in the first meeting, I can come up with something in their tax return to save them at least 10 grand. I don't know. It's wild. So
yeah. Well, trying to save people money and make the wisest decisions to pay the least amount of tax of a lifetime is a fun thing to work on to make sure they understand what rules and options they have. The more we save now into tax-free vehicles, the better choices we'll have in our retirement years.
Yeah, and the flexibility is the key there, because you never want to be stuck all in taxable.
Absolutely, because we all know that when we're retired, the best part of retirement is going to be getting our time back, or you decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job. A lot of that goes away. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com, scroll to the Schedule a Meeting section, and let us know you'd like to schedule a free meeting with one of our team of advisors. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WINRETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule a free in-person or Zoom meeting. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. How can you put a dime in your pocket and take out $1? It's not a magic trick. We'll explain when we return in just a moment.
Why? Why take a chance? Why risk a mistake? Why say something? We all have reasons why we choose to ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right. The word why can either paralyze us or empower us to stand up and protect what we love. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my family.
I see safe for my friends.
I see safe for my students.
We see safe for each other.
I see safe because all of this matters.
We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies this community we're all a part of. So protect your everyday. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Call now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, founder and president of Akers Financial Group, and we're live from the Hilton Gardens in Owings Mills. Thank you for listening today. It is a live show. Alex Monk with me. He's a certified financial planner practitioner.
And radio guy, I guess, now.
Radio guy,
man, whatever.
Yeah, you've been that for a while now, right? All right, so today's show has been called Get Paid in Retirement. So if you missed the show, you go to our website, acresfinancialgroup.com. You hit the radio tab, and down there is a list of all the different shows. You can click and listen to them. You can go to podcasts also and other sources out there. Akers Financial Group is built to help our clients achieve the goals they have for their retirement years. We have designed the company to be a good service, a great service to guide people into and through those retirement years. Now, a lot of times it's people 5 to 10 years out. That's who comes in and gets ready to retire, and then we help guide them through retirement.
I mean, as soon as they're ready.
Yeah, but the reality is that winning in retirement starts today.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that age is, start today. If you want to retire early, you got to start now.
And it's usually a weird event that brings them in, right? So the younger you come in, it's because you've seen the importance of it. It's like,
or they've seen the failure of it.
Right.
They see where their parents might need money.
I got to do this.
Yeah, they see their parents needed money in retirement. You're like, I'm not going to be like that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Or the opposite.
Or they have to deal with an estate, or they inherit, it's some event, typically.
Yeah, so the fourth quarter here is where we try to win the game. You're at the end of the game. You got to play to win.
I mean, the first part doesn't matter. It's the final score.
The final score is what matters. Right?
Yep.
Winning the first quarter is a nice thing.
It's like hitting a hole-in-one, but you just top the ball and it's a worm burner the whole way.
That's a golf thing, isn't it?
Right, but it doesn't matter how it gets there.
I thought you were a pickleball guy.
It doesn't matter how it gets there, as long as it gets there.
Do you use a pickleball racket playing golf now?
I mean, it felt like it last weekend.
Sorry about that. All right, so get paid in retirement. The reason you want is because you want to play golf, you want to play pickleball, you want to do things. Things cost money. And we have to have money coming in to do that. We don't want to retire and not be able to do things. So retiring where you've set aside your income now by saving and growing money on the side to the future is a very important thing. And that's what we're trying to explain here in the fourth quarter is how can a dime in your pocket, you have that dime sitting in your pocket, how can it become $1 in your pocket when it's not a magic trick? How does this happen?
I don't trust magicians. They creep me out.
Sorry. He said that straight face. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I think you invested or changed pants with someone.
Okay, so the dime in your pocket, you change pants. All of a sudden, you got $1 from the other guy's pocket. That works out well.
Right. I mean,
all right. Let's call that not the retirement plan.
Okay.
Let's use a concept where you put your dime away, save it now, and then you let the dime grow. The dime becomes 20 cents.
The dime becomes, a big number, and then it starts issuing its own little baby dimes. Or dollars in that case.
Yeah, you're making fun of my cow analogy again. All right, but the idea here is this. How do you get to $1 with a dime? Well, it has to double from 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 80, and then you're getting over there. For time to double like that, to get 3 doubles, you're going to need probably 30 years or more for your money to grow unless you're very aggressive. And that's just the math of it.
And you have good timing.
The reality is what people do is they do a lot of pre-tax savings. And so the reality is they have to have $1.66 in the account to put $1 in their pocket. How does that work, Alex?
It hurts. Then you have to pay the tax. So like people think, well, I'll take out 50 and I'll get 50. But no, I mean, you take tax on top of that. That tax you pay is taxable as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it like at the dollar level. Like the dime became $1, and then I did the fancy math. I got $1.66 to get $1.
I don't think I don't carry change much. I always lose it. So
yeah. So imagine that you want to retire and you want to have your net income to be $6,000 a month, $12,000, $15,000. You get to pick. How do you get there? You don't just get the $6,000. You have to have a gross number, pay taxes, and then you get whatever's left over.
Right.
The more you set aside tax-free through Roth IRAs, through long-term life insurance savings, those are 2 tax-free ways.
Those are great. I mean, having dividends depending on your...
It could be at lower rates.
Lower rate or real estate investments, depending on what you got structured.
Real estate has tax deductions, it has appreciation, there's ways to get income. You can actually raise the rents there. Those are good businesses to be part of. A lot of wealthy people have other real estate besides their house, and that helps them build their wealth over time.
And you can hide so much taxable income in real estate. It's just a wonderful vehicle, but it's volatile, right? And it's also illiquid, so you can't go overboard.
Yeah, but the rental real estate is where it is a business, and you have to work it like a business and understand that it's not just an easy thing to do. But that is definitely something out there people do when it comes to creating a company, like a real estate company, where an LLC, where they can actually save their money through real estate and then have people pay rent and actually buy the property. And then when they retire, those checks, they have them as part of their income.
Yeah, but when it rains and it's pouring out, and that's when the phone rings and there's a problem. So you got to make sure that's what you're looking for, exactly like you said.
Well, it's sort of like getting paid in retirement. You got to design your own plan. Let's say you're a small business owner. You start your company, everything you own goes into it. Then over the years, there might be a little bit more cash flow, and then you're realizing, how do you get money to build your own retirement? Now, if you add retirement plans for the whole company, all of a sudden you save for the owner, but then you got to save matching for everybody else. And then does that make sense as a way of keeping employees? And then there's, do you rent as a company? Do you buy a property? These are major decisions, but then they drive later in life when you're ready to retire, when you own the property the company rents from. That becomes a great asset for retirees.
Or the company that owns the property that owns, then your tax structure can get real creative, and you can do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, so the idea here is this. We want to get paid in retirement. If we got to choose, we want tax-free income. The only way to have tax-free income in the future is you got to throw money to your own future. You got to look at Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, Roth TSPs.
We're not talking about getting paid for working. We want your money to pay you.
Yeah.
No work involved.
Yeah, so you stop the work. You stop going to work on your job, and then your money does your work. It pays you. That is a tough concept for some people because they always trusted their work ethic. They don't want to actually count on somebody else.
Well, it's easy to think your account's going to keep going up when you're adding to it every month.
Oh, absolutely. And then there's lots of stories there. But I'm going to try to stick with the main topic.
But it takes a year or two to see that, yes, we can withdraw and still grow money because they've never done that before. It's, wading into the water.
Yeah, it's a simple thing to do. You're thinking about retirement. Put like a plus sign on a piece of paper and minus. Plus means what income is going to come in. What are the choices that you have for income? You might have pensions. You might not. You might have Social Security. There are some people that have pensions and no Social Security, and understanding those rules. Then investments. Are they going to come out taxable or are they going to come out tax-free? And then there's the negative. What are the costs of retirement living? Do you have so much debt that you have a large number every month? Do you have a large mortgage that you have to pay for the next 30 years of your retirement? Is that something going to be a reality for you? And what can you do about it? Should you have your house paid off?
Right, because let's say that, you need to go somewhere that gives care, and then you need that mortgage payment for that. You better hope that equity is there.
Yeah, it's long-term care issues. I know we're trying to keep the get paid in retirement as simple as we can. Every time you do planning, it leads to more planning because you want to cover it all. Imagine a financial planning experience at Acres Financial Group is where you sit down and talk with an advisor, a free meeting to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And you talk about what they want to accomplish in life and where they are. We call that the financial fingerprint. And that's understanding what they've done so far. And then now we got to position them to handle everything that's a worst case scenario. Like what happens if you die tomorrow, disabled tomorrow? What happens? Make sure everything's right. And then you want to invest for a lifetime. Invest in a way that's going to inflate and grow over a lifetime. Invest that's going to be tax-free. Invest with all these purposes so that when you get paid in retirement, you know that number is reliable, sustainable, and can keep up.
Right. So the first meeting, we just figure out what makes you tick.
To start, yeah.
And then a lot of times your background you'll bring up things that we've seen before, and we'll know the scenario almost before you do.
Yeah, because it's your first time retiring.
Right. I mean, we do it all the time.
Yeah, we do feel like we're retiring every time we meet with a client. Like I have many clients retiring June 30th. And so what's going on with me is understanding their situations, understand that they have money coming in, what it is, when they're going to need the money. And then I always ask them for beyond their budget, what are the big expenses in the next 3 years? Like what do you need to fix in your house? What do you need to pay for large vacations?
How old's your car? Got any weddings?
Do you have a retirement car? Is there any weddings coming up? Can you afford to pay all of these things? Can you afford to give kids money? Can you afford to not to? Are you charitably inclined? All those factors drive your plan, but the concept simply of getting paid in retirement is something that we have to take as something that's very important right now. How are you going to get paid in retirement? Who's going to put that money aside for you? I can tell you the answer. It's you. You have to set money aside to your future so that you can draw it later.
Yeah, and if it increases in value because you invest it right, it makes it a lot easier.
That's that dime becoming the dollar in your pocket. If you can do a Roth IRA, a Roth 401k, a Roth TSP at your work, a Roth anything, you're creating some money tax-free in the future. You're paying tax now. With tax brackets the way they are, we love paying tax now compared to the future. We think tax rates will be higher and more expensive.
Well, especially if you already know, like in November of every year, everyone out there, they pretty much know what their income's going to be, plus or minus, stuff coming out of dividends or out of mutual funds, etc.
Yeah, it's close.
So you can get close. If you know you're already in a tax bracket, why wouldn't you just take as much income as you possibly can and just pay it in that tax bracket? Because
you have to have cash to do it. And then people don't want to pay tax. If you go to an accountant, the accountant's trying to pay the minimum tax. They don't want you converting and paying tax now.
I know. I get in arguments with accountants all the time. I'm like, well, this is my number that I want to hit. I don't want you to give me your take on things. I want you to tell me what I need to do to get this number.
Right. Maxing out a tax bracket should be a priority in your planning. If you want to get paid in the future and get tax-free, you got to max your brackets out while you're saving. Brackets at 12, at 22, 24.
Especially if you know your income's going up down the road. I mean, we know these things are factually going to happen.
Right, and so the idea of planning and to start early is to take your scenario, your financial fingerprint, and build on it to accomplish this simple goal: getting you paid in retirement.
Yeah,
to show you the money.
Yeah,
Jerry Maguire movie.
And give less money to the government.
Did you like the Jerry Maguire movie? Show me the money.
So Tom Cruise is a little short, and short people kind of.
I'm just kidding. The Show Me the Money is a wonderful thing. The idea is getting the money you need, and the idea is not to take anything less. The hardest part is that you can't get anywhere else from yourself. Monk suggested that you borrow someone's pants.
Yeah, but that's not going to work, right? What if you get a pants that has a hole in the pocket?
That's normally who you would take the pants from.
Right. I mean, you got to make sure and. Every day, you work so hard for all this money. Most of these people don't enjoy it enough, in my opinion. I think that they should worry less.
Right. So having a good plan gives you the ability to balance life now between the future and today, where if you wait too long until the last couple of years before retirement, you then cannot balance. You have to put everything ready for your retirement. Right. And that becomes like a race to retirement.
Yeah, or then your kids get it and they blow it on something stupid and the parents don't get to enjoy it. That drives me crazy.
Yeah. So the idea here is this. We want you to get paid in retirement through your proper planning. We want you to win in retirement. Thank you very, very much, Alex, for a good show today. Today we covered this getting paid in retirement. We covered things like your balloon, will it inflate? Basically, will your money last a lifetime? And that dollar in your pocket, how did it get there? We want you to win in your retirement by taking advantage of this opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the Schedule a Meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting. That's acresfinancialgroup.com. Or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Finance Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Arcadios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Arcadios and do not share any common ownership. Neither Arcadios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and/or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.